listening to PDR Tool Talk, all about PDR stories, tools, and techniques.
For the thousands in attendance, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Mike Toledo, along with Vince D'Alessandro. Forgot your name, dude. I'm not used to introducing you so soon. John Hiley, and we have a couple special guests here, and this I might as well just introduce them. Duane Emerson and Drew. I don't know if you guys ever heard about this guy named Drew Lechtenberg. He's he's owning this company called DrewsSomethingTools.com. No, DrewsTools.com, dude. How you been, Drew?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, good, man.
I'm good.
Good to see you. So I'm seeing Drew through video. So right now, so we got Duane Emerson here. Vince, why don't you kind of introduce what this dude's all about, man? I never heard of him until you started talking to him about it.
Okay, well, about a month ago, I was contacted by Anson and Craig over at Anson PDR. He told me about Duane, and Duane is the master of the hot box, is what I hear. And the way that Craig said it is, Craig at Anson, he's a tool distributor. So, they're sending tools all over the world and primarily our country. And he all of a sudden noticed a whole bunch of hot boxes going to one area. And he did a little investigation about it and found out that this man, Duane, that we have on our show today, he's the man behind it because he's pretty much figured out how to use the hot box and some tricks and things like that. And he's got a show coming up here. He's going to be doing a seminar at MTE this year. So we just wanted to bring him on and talk a little bit about the hot box and pick his brain. And we have Drew here. He's going to give us a little history lesson on the hot box and how that came about. But I know for myself, I've always looked at it like, something new. When glue came into our lives, we're like, that's never going to work. And here we are, everyone's glue pulling now.
I know.
Now, here we are, 2015, I believe is when the hot box came out. And here we are again. Here's a new product that a lot of people are shying away from, but there's a lot more that are starting to turn to it. So I wanted to bring these two guys on here and talk to them about it, get a history lesson, and teach our listeners a little bit about it and get them to come out to MTE and check out the seminar.
Yeah, and get skepticals like myself to really get into it. You made a good point there, Vince, is like glue pulling. We all tried glue pulling when it first came out. Every single one of us, unless we got lucky, thought it was junk. And we put it on, we shelved it for a little bit. And then we'd come back to it because we saw someone else, right, that was able to do what we thought couldn't be done. So, and that's why we're bringing Duane Emerson on. So welcome, Duane. Thanks for coming on.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Now, Drew, do you want to give us a little brief history lesson on the hot box and how it came about, or is it made specifically for our industry?
A little bit.
Yeah.
And I know that it was out in Europe probably around 2012, and it was not well received, kind of like the glue. And it slowly took guys time to start using it and playing with it. Because even the manufacturers are like, well, this is what it can do in theory, but they don't fix this, so they don't know what to do. And so once they got it out to some techs that do know how to fix stuff, they started playing around with it and get a little bit better.
Was it always intended for the PDR industry, or did it come from a different industry? Do you know?
Well, it came from the automotive industry. I mean, they were using it for pulling out window glasses, releasing glue on panels that they were pulling apart, breaking loose nuts and bolts. But it was much bigger units.
Yeah.
And Worth actually had one out, I think, a couple of years before the T-Hot box, but it was the size of like a MIG welder, and it had its own cart that rolled around. You had to ground it, and you had a foot pedal, and you could actually feel your body vibrate using it. It was such a huge unit. So
that's true. I've seen it.
Yeah. And I remember, even years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, some of I think it was Excel that had a big dent machine that was kind of, zapping the dents from behind and all
Tightening
of a
it up.
sudden
Yeah, tightening up for oil can.
tightening it up to oil cans and stuff like that. And then the next year, all of a sudden, boom, here's this T hot box showing up, and it definitely sparks people's interest.
Yeah, I know when you talk about the big dent machine, that goes back to a little trick where you could just take a battery, positive ground, and slap an oil can with it and spark it and put tension on that oil can.
Yeah, John Hiley actually he does that quite a bit. He teaches people how to do it, but I guess there's not really too much to teach about it. You just take two cables and zap it from behind, right?
Basically.
Yeah. So here we are, 2017. Duane, you when did you start using the? Actually, why don't you back up a little bit and tell us about your experience with PDR? When did you get into the industry?
Oh man. Well, way back in the day, I would say I think I saw the process back in '92. And then I started doing a little research, and around '93, I jumped in. I paid $15,000 to learn how to do PDR. And I thought, hey, I'm going to learn PDR. I'm going to go back to like Chicago, and I'm going to start a route, and I'm going to make a bunch of money. Well, towards the end of my training, the company that was training me said, hey, there's a hailstorm in Pennsylvania. Do you want to go do some hail? I'm like, what's that? So they said, well, you can like start doing headliners, and then you can kind of do a car on the side and make money, like $25 a headliner, and the cars paid the tech like $800. I was just like dollar signs. I'm like, okay. So I trucked off to Pennsylvania, and luckily I had my trainer was with me. So if I had any questions, so I did have my headliners learning. Then after about, I'd say 4 or 5 weeks of this, we got fired. And I was like, what do I do now? My turn's like, I don't know, go find some dents and fix them, make some money.
Yeah.
So I wasn't cool with that. So I went to the owner of the dealer. They still had 400 cars left to fix. And so I said, why did you fire us? And he said, because the quality sucks. And I was like, well, that's not me. That's your local guys. Come look. I've only fixed like 7 cars, but I found a glassed out car. My trainer doesn't let me do, crappy work. So, and my trainer, he didn't care. He was back to Florida, and he goes with his route and makes his money. So, and I said, plus you're not giving us money. I don't know if you ever remember the Rivieras, the old 2-doors Buicks.
Oh yeah,
like the first Allen hoods with honeycomb.
Yeah.
Well, I told him, I said, well, you're not giving us some money on that, and it's aluminum. It's very hard to fix. He goes, how much do you need? I said, $1,200. I have no. I'm flying. I have no idea what's going on. So he goes, okay, go fix 30 of them and then come see me. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what to do. I called actually the company that kind of put me there, and I said, hey, I need some help. So they gave me another tech. And then we knocked out these 30 cars. And then I had an invoice. Thought I was rich. And then, and the owner's like, okay, thanks for fixing the car. Appreciate it. This and that. And they're selling a lot of cars at their hail sale. He's like, where are you going now? I said, I think to Texas, because I heard there's hail down there and I like this. He goes, nah, you're going nowhere. I got 300 cars and you can fix them for $1,000 a piece, right? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I sat there the whole summer with another guy, and I just bankrolled. And then I figured out what the hail game was. And I'm like, all I gotta do is sell myself. So my level of PDR went from 1, 2, say on a scale, to like 12 overnight. And so I'm like, I gotta taste the hail money. So here we are, basically 25 years later,
Yeah.
staying in the hail game.
Where are you based out of right now, Duane?
Right now, we just moved the headquarters into Denver. I probably spent a little history. I spent since about 2000 to 2015. I basically lived in Europe. I was based out of Spain. Done a lot of factory gigs. Many cars for the big three and the Germans, the VW, Audi, Mercedes.
Now,
And
is that where you got your first taste of the hot box, or was that here?
the first time I've seen it was actually in Belgium. And I was very like, this is BS. This is not going to work. It's not going to take dents out. It's not going to take our job from us. But that's what the sales guy is selling it as. So, and then I saw it at the MTE one year and still wasn't convinced. And then about, I'd say 4 to 5 years ago, it all runs together, all the hell, right? I was in a little shop in Holland. Every tech had a hot box, and everybody's preaching it. And I'm like, yeah. And then we get these French cars where you can't pull the headliner down because they're glued, and these guys are blasting through these cars with hot box. And I'm like, all right, I need it.
There's something to it.
Yeah. It's just like in the year 2000, actually the year I met Mr. Drew Lechtenberg at a Mercedes gig, that's when I first used the glue. And we had to buy a glue kit. So I didn't know how to use it. So I watched an Italian guy, just watched him, how he would fix his dents with the glue. And then boom, it clicked on me, and glue, everybody was, oh, that's not going to work. But, I watched everybody and it works. So when it comes to the hot box, a good friend of mine, it's Holland Tech, he basically tutored me for an hour. Okay, do this, do that, oil can, this. And then I saw him like the next year, and he's just like, seeing me just blasting cars with the hail box going around. He's just like, what? What? You took it? I said, yeah, this is the best. He goes, I don't use it like that. I'm like, yeah. So I'm tutoring him how to use it.
Sure.
And then I have the whole shop behind me, and I'm showing everybody, do this, do that. When you're here, save time, do this. Here's a blend, hit the hot box, go. So.
And next thing you know, the Anson is sending 30 hot boxes to your location, right?
Yeah. So, it worked. It's just like the glue. We go back. It's just like learning PDR. It's just like the skill you have to learn. You can't just pick it up, press the pen, and expect the dent to go. Waloo, it's gone.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than just releasing pressure, tapping down, and then putting the trigger on it. I get that. I know there's something else that we're missing that obviously this is what this is about to introduce to help you promote your class at MTE, right? You're going to have a special class on a Saturday, right? From 10 to 2 p.m., right? What date is that?
That's Saturday the 27th. We have a web page set up. It's hotboxtraining.com. Got a nice little video on there. Shows the points. It's an investment in yourself. And I want to better the industry so everybody knows about it. Because I get too many people saying, oh, it doesn't work. It's BS. I'm like, no, you don't know how to use it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm one of those guys, man. And I probably,
and I can't wait to see you in the class.
Yeah. Hey, what 26? Yeah, I think I might. Well, I don't know. Me and John, man, actually I got my booth. Well, we'll see. I have to get John's permission. But John will probably want to be in there too. So, but
oh, man. That Mobile Tech Expo, dude, I can't do anything.
Yeah, I know. John's just man crazy. But we'll talk after the show. We got some ideas.
Man crazy. What was that? Mike, this is shit you're not supposed to be telling people, dude.
Yeah.
But to go backwards, last year, the year before, Drew, he sees me using the hot box. He's like, back and forth, learning tricks back and forth. He goes, you just need to teach everybody, teach a class. I'm like, okay, it's a good idea. So Drew said, do it. And I started doing it. Last year, I put out a class. And actually, I didn't market it right. And I wanted to get out there, but I wanted only pre-signs, so I knew what to bring, how many bets to set up. When 8 guys show up at the door, they're going to pay $1,500. And I was like, no, cancel. I know. So, but everybody, it's not $1,500. Don't worry. I
was just going to ask you, how much is that? $1,500?
Well, actually, pre-signups are, I think, $675, and there's another tier. It goes to $775, and after that, it's $825 or $850 the day of the show. So get the early bird sign up, and you get the discount. Everybody's going to get receive around $200 plus. I just got a phone call today, but the company's going to donate a bunch more stuff in swag bags. Plus, it's tax write-off.
Yeah. Okay, Duane. Here's the deal, dude. Because I'm the customer. I'm thinking about signing up, but you gotta hook me. I'm gonna ask you questions that I think that other people are having the same challenge. Okay. Mm-hmm. What type of dents are you actually fixing with these? Are you fixing light, shallow dents? Are you fixing creases? Give us an example of what you're fixing, and are you having challenges? Discoloring pearl whites like the gold, the silvers.
I fixed a crease in a door today.
Yeah.
Not exclusively using the hot box, but in conjunction with tools.
Yeah. I believe that. I believe it.
It speeds it up.
Go ahead, Duane. What do you?
Well, one thing you talk about discoloration, light colors, it's very easy. Turn the hot box down. Okay, everybody and I learned this I'm always learning too, Mr. Steve Hall from Malta. Him and I go way back. Put the power down between 40 and 60%. And if you heat up the metal slower, instead of just real rapid, when it's rapid, it'll burn.
Uh-huh.
So there's one little trick, and I got so many more.
Well, this is full of tech tips right here. So I mean, Drew's, he said we're going to save a lot of it for the course, which is great, which I think is definitely you should. But I know visually you have to see this being in action too as well. So I know it's very visual.
At the course. I'm in the process of I have 2 rails on jigs and then 5 hood stands. So everybody's going to get to play and mess around with it. We're going to have tools there, knockdowns there. Everybody can touch it, play with it. I'm going to do a demonstration and show the points where it burns. We're going to have the alu hot box. And it's just like alu. You can turn that thing, and that, like most paint burns anywhere from 175 to 200 degrees, right? More or less.
Yeah, around there.
But with the alu hot box, it's crazy because you can keep it going and going and going. I've seen it go up to off the infrared charts for the infrared thermometer.
Yeah, that's why I heard the aluminum is to me personally, based on what I saw, because Steve was doing a demo at the Mega Media event. And he was lifting some metal up. So
there's all these there's tricks with the alu box, and there's so many little things that you can take away from the class that I'm giving my knowledge just so everybody can better themselves. And you're gonna move here's what happens. I've seen it happen 3 or 4 different storms. I'm blasting through cars in a commercial deal, and these guys are, what? And guess what? They buy the hot box. Then they want to say, how do we do it? So I give them the pointers of where I'm doing it. And of course, evolution carries on and goes and ruins. And so I told Drew this, I think 3 years ago. I said the hot box will be a staple item on everybody's cart. If it's not now, in the next 3-4 years. So.
Yeah. Hey, now, Drew, this question is for you. Okay. Do you sell the original hot box? What do you?
Yeah, I sell the steel and the aluminum one.
Okay. And what brand is it? Which brand is it?
T-Hop.
It's the T-Hop box. Okay. Now, what's your thoughts on the YO? And if anybody, hold on, let me, before you go, you explain that. If anybody doesn't know what that means, that what I'm saying, asking him is, there's the T-Hop box, which is the original OG one. That's going for quite a bit more money. And then, because I'll give you my experience on both of them after you talk about that. And then there's the YO, which is going a China-made one, going for much cheaper, based on Duane, your experience, and Drew, your experience. I know I'm based on mine, because I've used it. Is there, in your opinion, any difference, and including build quality?
I believe there is. I believe that the quality for the hot box, the T-Hop box by BTAG, is a little bit better unit, and it does move the metal differently. And so if you set the T-Hop box on half a second and then hit it back to back, like, repeat 1, 2, you'll get the paint almost to the point where it wants to start rolling smoke off. But with the Woyo box, you can set it for the same half second, and you can hit it 4 or 5 times before the paint gets to the point where it's going to start rolling smoke off. But so there is some difference there.
Perfect. What's your thoughts, Duane? Have you used it yet? Or
yeah, I've used the YO 3 or 4 times. The guy in the shop, of course, it wanted to pay the money. Why are deck guys so cheap? Because we are.
Mm-hmm.
We all know this. Everybody wants a discount, and we make good money, but we won't spend that money.
Yeah.
We choose to spend it somewhere else.
I honestly think it's because we're in an industry that has notorious low overhead. I mean, we've got our tools, we order plugs, and we order glue. You know what I'm saying? And we've been like that for years. And then when you start introducing new things, it's like, oh my God, I got to spend money, You go to a body shop, dude. You're spending, like, when I was running a body shop out of here, I have more money going out the door and paint. I mean, every day it was like 500, 700, and then money coming in. We don't see that in this industry,
Right.
So with that, it kind of it tightens you up a little bit,
That's true. I get it.
So,
But my experience on the YO is the same thing. Yeah, I don't think it heats up as fast. Now, a little something for me, my hot box is a Euro hot box, but I have a USA pen on the tip. So I have 2 different tips. So when I go do a storm Australia or Europe, my hot box is always in my luggage. So, and I just changed my tips out. So and I have the American version of the Alu box, and it works awesome. Everything works awesome. I'm so used to the speed and the heat of the hot box. When I went to the YO, I felt like it was lagging backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think the build quality is much better on the T-Hop box than it is the YO. So I have both. So
yeah. Now I got a question about those pens. You mentioned the pens. There's different sizes now that I noticed that they're offering. There's for large dent, medium dent, and small dent, and then like even smaller dent, which I think is the original one that comes with the box itself. Have you tried them, and is there a difference between them?
I haven't tried any of the different sizes. The smallest one is not the one that comes standard with the hot box, though.
It's not. Okay.
So there is a smaller one that comes standard, but I haven't tried it. I have talked to one guy that has, and he said that he can't tell the real difference. He doesn't feel like it pinpoints it any tighter.
Sure.
So if I have a hot box and I go through your course and I get out of it, what am I going to expect? I mean, am I going to be making more money on a daily basis? Is it really is it going to help me to the point like these techniques? Is it? I guess I'm saying, what should you expect? Should I be able to fix dents that I normally couldn't fix before, or are these techniques going to lead me to become a faster, more fluent technician? And if I walk out of the course, like how good am I going to be at it after seeing your techniques?
Well, after you come out of the course, you're going to have to prove to yourself that put these techniques in use. After you put them in use, and of course, a little bit of practice,
Just like anything else, basically.
Your efficiency. If you're that Halo Tech and you're in that commercial gig, well, you want to do 6 cars a day instead of 4 cars a day, right?
Right, of course.
Absolutely.
More money.
Well, that's an obvious selling point right there. And, you know, I'm glad that you brought that up, or I'm glad that we talked about that, because, I mean, think about it. Okay, guys out there. So if he's talking about if you're at a commercial deal, you can hit 6 cars instead of 4. We're talking about a lifetime of a wealth of cash flow. Okay. So, okay, you make your money back on the course in a quarter of a car, right? And then after that, it's pure profit. Okay. That's cool, man. I mean, you know, and a smart businessman is about that. Okay. So if you guys deliver that, you guys just delivered a gold mine into people's pockets.
Well, another thing that he didn't point out was that once you go and learn some of these techniques that he's going to point out, it'll broaden your view on it. And once you have a broader view, you'll start trying it on different things that you might not even thought was possible with it before.
Yeah.
Because like when Duane and I ran on a storm together last year, he had been using the hot box for smaller dents for his majority, where I ran across it. All we were doing was really hard hit push to paint stuff. And so we both had a different view on what it was really meant for. And then we started showing each other a little bit of our technique from our different perspectives. And then once those two ideas came together, then it's like, well, will it do this? Will it do that? Oh, hey, look what I just did. And all of a sudden you're trying out stuff that, you know, it's kind of like the glue pulling. You know, originally you thought, oh, it's just for rails. And then you went to maybe some doors and then aluminum hoods. And now you might glue pull a whole roof or an entire car. Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't have done that the very first year of glue.
Can I ask you a question, Duane? Do you know if there's going to be, if they sign up for your course, is there going to be any discount for them to purchase the hot box?
That's a very good question, Mike. If anybody wasn't aware, the only 3 authorized distributors in the USA for the T-Hot box is Drew's Tools, Anson, and Ultra. All these 3 companies are offering 15% off. 15. Tell you a funny story later about that. Off the hot box. So,
and what's that retail? What's the retail for that hot box?
The steel ones are $19.95, and the aluminums I think are $2,600.
Okay.
Now, Duane, would you recommend this class for beginners? What level of a PDR tech should be coming to this?
Actually, any level, because I'm going to teach basic to advanced techniques. Okay, and of course, if you've never touched a hot box, that can't wait to get a hot box in the hand and start fixing dents.
Duane, Duane, for the podcast's sake, because my internet, I don't know what happened, but I'm going to edit this part all the way up to it. You said you're going to teach, right? You start off from the part where you said you're going to teach the beginning and all the way to advanced. Sorry.
Okay. So in the hot box, we're going to teach everything from the basic technique that you can use everyday dance to advanced techniques. So when you come away from the class, you're going to be eager to get your hands on a hot box and go try it and figure it out with this knowledge. Mm-hmm. So, and knowledge is power. And you have more knowledge in your competition. What do? You make more money, right? Everybody wants more money. So,
well, I've got an idea, because a bunch of us are going to be in booths working while your thing is going on. So maybe you could do a little private lesson afterwards for
easy.
Yeah,
because we're going to be. Me and John have some ideas. Go ahead, John.
I mean, in all honesty, dude,
to the after party, and then once we're at the after party, we can start.
That is where it needs to happen.
There you go.
It's at my pool.
Bottom line is, dude.
Hey, we can set that thing on infinity and we can heat up the doorknob, and then as people show up at the end, you'd be like, "It's open, come on in."
Oh man, we got a rental car, dude. We'll get a rental car. And, you know, And that's the bottom line, man. You guys take the time to do that. You get all of us on board after that show, because now here's the potential. Like when you were talking, like I seen a vision of something. Okay. And I was like, dude, if this guy and you guys position this thing properly, this is a scalable event bigger than what you guys might, be thinking, because the bottom line is this could go to SEMA. If you guys are talking about beginners coming in, but people like body men who could use this in their business. And I mean, we're talking about something that could actually scale much, much bigger. I mean, so, the bottom line is you knock it out the park, you impress everybody that comes to that event, and you got something that can just continue to grow and continue to scale. So I like the idea, and I like where you guys are going with it.
I mean,
I do too.
I think from last year, from nothing, people, no pre-signs, and people showing up at the door wanting to pay $1,500. And I said, no. So I want to do it right. This year we're marketing, and I'm telling you, we already have a call into the MTE, the chairman now. I think it's the guy. It's not
Kevin.
It's not Kevin.
Well, it's Kevin's involved, but they sold to another company, and they're real nice, good people. That I might need another classroom. So if the class sells out, don't fail, guys. We are going to have another one.
When are you guys starting the ticket sales for this?
It's online right now.
Where can they go?
Go to hotboxtraining.com.
Hotboxtraining.com.
Check out the video. Someone go look at it.
We'll put a link.
Been up?
Facebook today.
It technically, it's been up for about a week, but I officially announced it today just because a lot of tweaking on the webpage. I just got my video back from the videographer who was actually an Emmy award-winning videographer for Texas Walker Ranger.
Nice.
Awesome.
What's the website name? I'm going to look at it while you guys are talking.
Texas
Say the
Walker
website
Ranger, huh?
Trust me, you want to say your website as many times as possible anyway. So say it again.
Hotboxtraining.com.
Yeah, we'll put a link on here on this podcast.
We put a link on the Tool Time Revolution Facebook page and a couple of the other Facebook pages.
Yeah, please do.
I think
we did today.
Duane, I think you'll gain, and Drew, you guys will gain a lot of interest after the podcast. I'm sure, because if it's explained to people what they could possibly learn about something that they don't really know about. Because the reason why we say we don't like it, right? The truth is what? Because we don't know much about it, right?
You're scared.
Yeah. We don't know about it. Just like people make fun of my lines because they don't understand it. And we don't understand the hot box as well as we want to. But
we'll always make fun of your lines.
Yeah.
But hey, Mike, I'm with you there, because when I was trained on a little grid.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I first met Duane, he had this chicken wire. And I'm like, what are you doing? Fixing this. I like lines, and it blew my mind. I was like, I just don't get this.
Yeah.
But here, I'm gonna leave this with everybody too. That here's one little trick and tip. How many guys use root beer tabs out there?
I do.
A lot.
I do.
When you stick that on the rail and you pull it and it put the alcohol, it doesn't come off. It doesn't come off. You're like, you wait for the alcohol to set. Get your little hot box pin and zap the glue tab, and it pops right off.
On the glue tab or on the middle?
Right next to it.
It's right next to it.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're basically heating up the glue again
instantly,
and it peels right off.
I use my hot box all the time, almost on a daily basis, but I don't do hail. I'm just retail. So I use it to heat up panels. I don't pull out my heat gun in it at all anymore. I have it right next to me. Boom. I need to heat up a dent. Boom. I'm zapping that. And it retains.
That's a good idea, Vince. I didn't even think about that. Damn tech guy.
What?
Yeah, dude, I use it to heat up screws and nuts that are rusted on or whatever. You blast that sucker and take it off. I'm always using it around the house, not around the house, around the shop.
I'm gonna get a $2,000 heat gun, dude. So
That's it. But it works.
well, it's good. So, what type of damage are you going to be doing? Demonstrating?
Okay, a lot of blends. I mean, there's a combination of rail work. I'm going to try. I'm bringing, I think, 3 or 4 hoods. Maybe good hoods, and I hope we get some oil cans where I can fit.
Whoa.
That's how I do it.
If you want an oil can, then I'll come in and make one for you.
Okay.
Like seriously.
With your forehead?
Well, no. Well, here's what you do. No, literally. I might do it with your forehead. But anyhow.
I can see Jack coming.
What you say? There's your oil can dent. All right. No, you actually take Drew, you know, the yellow tip that Drew's got on the big fat yellow tip, dude, and you beat the gnarly dent in there, right? And then you take it and you beat it up as hard as you can until you got these real rocked up pinches. And then you smash it down again. And you do that like 10 times, dude. It'll protrude out like this big from a distance. And it'll have like rocked in little gnarls. And when you hit it, you put a quarter on there, dude, you'll hit it and it'll flip in the air this high. You know what I mean? It'll bounce off the panel in the air that high. And then you got an oil can dent. You want to go to a dent trainer and look at the one that I fixed with the shock technique, dude. That's what I did. I mean, literally, it's a 2-minute beating that went on. and I show it to people and they're like, oh my God. You know, and then they're like, he's not stopping. Oh my God. And I just beat the living crap out of it. Then you got an oil can dent, man.
Yeah, John, we were talking about that earlier. But we were talking about that shocking the dent with a battery.
Dude, yeah. We go to Steve Camperson's page. I just did one with my student Steve today. Okay. And he just sat there in awe. And he got all zoned in when you're doing the shocking thing. You get zoned into it, dude. You're like, oh God, look at it. You know what I mean? You never want to stop because you're not pushing. It's like a video game, dude.
Right.
And but yeah, I'll make that oil can dent for you.
John, stop taking. Hey, John, no more taking your workout pills before you go on a podcast, dude. So
I'm like this all the time, man. Just from a cup of coffee, dude.
Well, I'm excited, man. I'm with John though, man. I won't be able to leave my booth, but I'm definitely excited for your course. I think it's going to be really, really great. I wish you the best of luck there, and I'm sure you're going to do really well.
You know what, Mike? Yeah. Yes, go ahead, Duane.
No, I'm just saying education. You know, I've been in the industry so long, and Drew, I want, like you guys, you're doing this beautiful podcast, doing this nice thing and this platform, and exposing our industry for the good. And this is what we want to do: expose something, help everybody, and make everybody a better technician. So
yeah, and for $675 for the early bird registration, it's a no-brainer. I mean, what I'm hoping is the three of us are going to be in the booth at this year. Maybe we could just rotate out and. I want to see him fix the oil can dents. You guys,
man, he's coming to our room later, man.
Oh, right, yeah, the after party.
We already said it, dude. It's that. Don't be changing things on us events.
Okay, all right. Never
Jesus, you took us back a notch, dude. So hey, I'm looking at your website. It's nice, man. I like what you did here. I was, I got on here, and sometimes the guys' websites out there, you get on there, and you're like. Oh, I got on this. This is really, really good, dude.
I took a lot of time, and we have our sub sponsors also that are, donating products. And I don't know, like Alter is giving us a hood stand and a light, and he's like, so I don't know if we're gonna have a raffle. Todd Zimmerman's gonna have a hood stand there, so we see his hood stand. Drew's gonna have his hammers there, just on. Everybody can touch and feel everything.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
So, but Drew's tools, he's the one who implanted this class in my head. He says, roll with it. Here we are.
All right, one more time. What's the website?
Hotboxtraining.com.
How many seats?
27.
How many seats are you going to have available?
Oh yeah.
We have 50 slots, and once it hits 51. I have another classroom on reserve. Mm-hmm. So if I got to train just 10 more in a class, I would. I mean, it's all about getting somebody knowledge.
Is there anybody that's what about you, Drew? Are you going to be picking up the slack for them, or you have any other instructors besides yourself, Duane?
Yes, Steve Lacey from Robolite. He's going to come in and do some demos. I have two other technicians that know what we're doing. And they're on call and they're ready to come. So I'm going to, after explaining techniques, we're going to break everybody down into little groups. And so everybody touch and feel, and I'm going to be bouncing around each group and show the techniques.
Cool.
Well, hopefully Drew will have a little talent at his booth this year, because it was lacking a little bit of talent last year, wasn't it?
What's up?
We got stood up.
Yeah.
Oh, you got stood up.
That's right. Yeah.
We had girls lined up for last year, and they didn't even bother to call and say they couldn't make it. They just didn't show up.
Nice.
It took us 2 months to get our money back from the talent agency.
You didn't get your money back?
Ooh.
Yeah, we got our money back.
Oh.
Well, hell, it didn't show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't. I was like,
No, we probably got it, yeah.
Yeah. Drew's the first person that got his money back from a talent agency.
I was like, yeah, okay.
The talent didn't show up. They owed me for it. So.
I remember when I was a kid, man, I moved out to California and we hired somebody from a talent agency, like a dancer or something. And it was all like literally like I lived in a place where we had a UFC ring in front of the house. And we were all a bunch of, fighters. It was called Team Neutral Grounds out there that lived in the house. And we all got together and pitched in the little money we had. And some girl was supposed to be a strip dancer to come out, right?
Right.
Shows up, takes our money, and tries to leave. And we're like, you need to give us our money. And her guy gets on the phone. He goes, we have a hostage situation here. We have a hostage situation here. And basically, she left with all of our money, dude. Came into like a house full of a bunch of fighters and stole our money and left.
She got her an arm bar.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, you got your money back?
You guys had a big circle jerk going on there, huh?
Yeah.
One girl, huh?
Hey, you know how it is, man. 18 years old, that's
Oh
all you
my
do.
gosh, man.
Yeah.
We try to keep this podcast PG-13.
Is that for the rated X?
I did not go anywhere bad with that.
All right, so
I did with the circle jerk. So
Oh,
Oh.
I don't even know what that is, Vince. You've done that before? What is it? Wait, you were part of a sausage fest, the hot tub thing?
yeah, the hot tub. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Drew, you should have seen it. You ever seen like when people boil wieners? Like back in the day, you used to put hot dogs and boil them.
Right.
That's what they look like in the hot tub, dude. Look like a bunch of wieners floating around being boiled in a pan.
There's two girls there.
To get in, dude.
We do
When
have girl
Vince
women listeners.
emerges out of it like this.
Well, you always have to female the cook.
Got in, dude. And I was like, what are you doing? Don't do it.
Enjoy my IPA from afar.
Oh man. All right.
All right, listen, I want to give some shout outs to the sponsors who was putting this on, obviously drewstools.com. We got Anson PDR Tools, right? And Ultra Dent Tools. Is that correct? Anyone else we're missing?
That's correct.
Cool.
So
Good deal.
they're the main sponsors. And thank you very much to Steve Hobb, Craig Dyer, and of course, Mr. Drew Lechtenberg for donating some products and swag and also putting the word out so we can better industry with your knowledge and education.
We're going to give Christina a shout out from Anson too. So,
Oh yeah, Christine's awesome.
Yeah.
Christine, is it Christine or Christina? I keep putting
Christina.
I know Christina. Yeah.
And Mike, I want to remind you, bro. I mean, we don't want to be bad host here. This is the first time we've been in front of Drew since he donated all them tools to our giveaway.
You know what, Drew? That's right, man. I forgot to mention. Thank you very much publicly to tell you that in front of your
Appreciate
face.
that, dude. He didn't even see the 10,000 comment post he was on.
No.
I said to him, did you see the post that we featured your pimp stick that had 10,000
We have
comments?
to tag them.
You guys broke Facebook with that post. People were getting kicked off of Facebook because of it.
Yeah, they were messaging me like some guy messaged me, said people are cheating. He said they're marking me as spam, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. Do you know who it is? Like, what? I mean,
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, Drew. We appreciate that.
I appreciate it. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I was just so busy.
How go with your fundraiser for the young gen?
Got some extra money to help pay for some of the training and the vet bills and stuff like that. And they're having a few more fundraisers for him too. So
That's great. Yeah, because those service dogs are really expensive, as most of us know, and it takes years to train them properly for the condition that they have. So
Mike, you got that clapping thing?
Which one? What are you talking about?
The button where you hit it, where it claps after somebody says something awesome.
Honestly, my computer cut out. I heard that he said that he's. I don't know why I'm having internet problems.
We got the he got the service dog that he was collecting donations all month for.
Yeah, and that was part of some of the donations or the sales went to some part of that. Is that correct? Oh man,
When Daniel.
This thing is
Okay.
all messed up, guys. We have to cut this off. My Wi-Fi is not working for very long. So, yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, real quick before it dies out, listen, the proceeds went to part of the charity for the person that needed a guide dog. Is that right?
Yes.
He needed
Yeah.
a service dog.
Ford.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, Ford.
Yeah.
Got out there and the service dog and helped him out.
Awesome. That's really
That's
really
awesome.
great of you, Drew. So,
Thanks.
well, anyways, guys, have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and listen, we will see you, Duane. What? What are you
No,
doing?
go ahead.
What's
I'm
this
just telling
for?
them to wait. Don't
Oh.
hang up.
No, I won't. Duane, we'll see you at MTE. Okay.
Yes, you will.
And Drew,
Make
same
sure I
thing.
track
We'll
you.
see all each other at MTE. So we'll see you then.
Carbon. This is the man who brought carbon into the PDR world. So anyway, again, everybody, check it out. Check our website, hotboxtraining.com. Appreciate it. And we appreciate you having us on. And if anybody has any questions, hey, give me a call, send me an email, we'll answer everything.
Got it.
Nice.
All right, you want to wrap it up, Mikey?
No, John's got it. Go ahead.
So, all right, everybody, we appreciate you for coming along for this podcast. And remember, join the revolution.
And level up your tool.